All right. Hi, loves. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, Soup for the Soul Tarot. So we're going to get into a general collective reading. That's just because I feel like Spirit's like, we got to do one. So I'm just going to follow suit. I was going to try to do a love reading because I know that's what y'all really, let's be real, listen to tarot for, which I totally understand, especially those that are on a very special type of spiritual connection, type of journey. But let's get into this general reading and see what this is about. Please guide me in this general collective reading, Spirit. What? I respect the property of others. Okay. I'm hearing teamwork is dream work. I don't know what that's about. All right. I honor virtue. Okay. Also, the color sea green. I'm hearing sea moss. I don't know. But the color like sea green or whatever this color is may be important here on some level. I relate in peace. On the deck, I hold purity in high esteem. Yeah. The color sea green or maybe even just green may be important here on some level. Okay. Uh, somebody here looks unimpressed. Unimpressed with what they're watching. You're like, wow, people are really just putting on a show. Maybe you feel that way about people on TikTok. Totally get it. Um, and I relate in peace. I feel like you're watching people kind of put the pieces of this puzzle together. Like, so maybe you watch a lot of tarot readers or um, people that do or practice divination. But I feel like more than that, too, it's like you also watch people stream or entertain other people. And you're like, oh my gosh, these people are like ridiculous, or like they have all the time in the world to do this thing. And you're over here judging. You're over here judging. Also, somebody here could really like makeup. Um, maybe your makeup is always on point. Makeup and hair. All right. Let's pull some other cards here. Somebody here also could like to wear rings or, you know, jewelry, maybe bracelets and rings. We have Four of Swords in the reverse, Ace of Cups. I feel like there's somebody here that wishes, I don't know, it's like maybe you watch attractive people online. Well, it's like, oh wow, to be that breathtaking, to be that beautiful, you know, to where you could just put your face out there and make money. Maybe you feel like you have to do yourself up in order to feel good about yourself, but you feel like some other people, they just have it easy. They're just naturally beautiful. You have the Wheel of Fortune here. You question the cards that you've been dealt. You're like, wow, I've been really I've been dealt maybe a bad hand, or you're just like, well, what am I supposed to do with the cards that I've been dealt? Like, what is this? You know, maybe you're kind of going over my bird's squawking. Maybe you're kind of going over like your talents, and you're like, well, I don't know what I can really do with this, or I don't know if this is going to make any money. The Hierophant. Um, there may be something you have to go back to school for, or that you have to learn. I feel like this is some kind of skill, but maybe you've been putting it off for some time. Maybe you're like, is it really worth it to go back to school to do this? And I feel like you've been giving yourself excuses, or you've been listing excuse after excuse after excuse for whatever reason. You know, you're like, oh, what's the point? The odds are not in my favor. Again, like I feel like this is some kind of maybe beauty industry or something like this that you want to get into, and you just don't feel like you're cut out to be in it. Also, somebody here could have, don't come for me, okay? It's a medical term. Somebody could feel like they have gender dysphoria. Maybe you feel as if you were born the wrong gender, okay? um you know, this could be somebody that maybe you're part of the trans community. um maybe you like to, maybe you would like to be part of drag if you haven't tried that out already. But I just feel like somebody feels like they're not in the right skin, like they're not in the right body. It just like this isn't me, you know? Just like, what do I even do with this body? It's just like you're looking in a mirror and it's just like, I don't look the way I feel like I should look, you know? But it's a really drastic, you know, I feel like there's no way to say this to people the way it makes sense to you and to others that have felt this way. So, um, you know, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why there's been, like, this has been a very heated debate in the past. Right now, this is something that's becoming more accepted and more understood, sort of, right? But in the past, it definitely was just like, what are you talking about? You know, it's just like, to a degree, people feel that way. But for people that have the sense of gender dysphoria, it's very extreme. This feeling is very extreme, and it's like they feel very alien to their bodies. And again, it's hard to describe because I feel like people can feel that way in different ways. Like autistic people often feel that way. Those that are at least more aware of their emotions and how they're being seen to others, right? Um, like there's just different ways to feel, not gender dysphoria, but feeling like you're not in the right body, or, you know, but it's just, to you, it's just like you're looking at yourself. It's almost, okay, you know what I can sort of relate this to is, it's as if like in like superhero movies, it's like when there's like some kind of mutation and they kind of transform, their body transform into something else, like for instance like Wolverine or something, you know? and and it's kind of like you're looking at yourself like, okay, well, what am I? What do I do with this? You know? um it kind of feels that way. Like you're, I don't know, in a different skin. I don't know how to describe this energy. We have Da'at, null, emptiness. Yeah. Trying to understand yourself has been a very difficult journey for you. Not surprised we have Pisces energy here. Again, that very like out of body experience, feeling very detached from your body. Very much this 12th house Pisces energy. You know, kind of like you feel like you don't really quite fit in any real category or any, with the Hierophant, traditional roles or categories that are already established and accepted within your society. I feel like you've been trying on new skins, seeing what feels the most right, or where you can feel like you can express yourself the most, or what quote unquote skin where you have range to express yourself. I feel like that's kind of what you've been looking for. Um, Interesting. All right, let's pull a few more cards here. Well, what is the viewer collective resonating with this meant to do with this information, Spirit? Like, what is the purpose of their incarnation then? Number 12, look at that 12th house energy, right? We have 12 and 12. We have that twice. Okay. So the number 12 could be synchronistic for you on some level. Or look at your 12th house and see what sits there. See if there are any planets that are impacting you there. In the future, I plan to look at charts, but I'm just not there yet. Okay. I am going to pull a few cards to confirm this tiger lily nymph, or to clarify, rather. Let me clarify this energy here. Okay, I'm going to pull the top card. Pull some tarot over here, Julius. Be good. I feel like in a past life, there was something here that you felt like should have been yours. That's how I feel. It's like there was something that you really, really wanted. Four of Pentacles that you felt like should have been yours, but you were blocked from it. It wasn't given to you. You weren't recognized for this. And you kind of carried this bitterness into this life. I almost feel, okay, that being born in this body, I don't know, to you it feels like an accident, But I feel like there were other forces at work that said, you do have to learn this. You do have to walk through life this way. Maybe also in a past life, you were hurt. Maybe it kind of made you feel deformed. Um, like I'm seeing somebody hiding their face in the dark, in the shadows, with a robe, you know? And I feel like somehow maybe you felt like this until you died in a past life, feeling ashamed of what's happened to you in a past life that made you feel like you couldn't show yourself to people. You know, this energy kind of reminds me of, gosh, what's her name in The Witcher? Let me look it up real quick. Yennefer. Yennefer of Vengerberg. Kind of reminds me of that energy of like her story of kind of being seen in her family as deformed, right? Um, and in a lot of ways, her father even rejected her, right? They didn't want to claim her as their daughter, really. Like she was treated like a pig, like an animal. Um, and that's really buried deep within her. And obviously, she underwent like a huge transformation when she went to like this schoolhouse of like witches. Um, but she made a sacrifice um, to become beautiful or seen as beautiful or pleasant to the eye. There's something similar to Yennefer's story that's here. Um, maybe that's happened in a past life for you. Um, hmm, okay. Well, what are they meant to do here, Spirit? Three of Cups in the reverse. The Justice card. The King of Pentacles in the reverse. There's something about you. There's also Libra energy that's strong for me here. Um, the lesson of Libra is really strong here. Um, I do feel like, oh, we also had Taurus over here, so Venusian energy in general. There's something about teaching society. Um, about your perspective in life. This is kind of like bringing some kind of justice for you and for others through self-love. This is kind of like accepting the rejection, accepting the pain, you know, transmuting the energy and just being like, here I am. This kind of also reminds me of, gosh, I can never remember. Give me 1 second. RuPaul. That's what it reminds me of. RuPaul. um, RuPaul is fabulous. I don't know if you ever have heard RuPaul speak about um, this journey, but RuPaul has really embraced, you know, who she is. Um, I feel like you're meant to do that in a lot of ways, but it's not an easy journey to walk. Um, there's something here about needing to balance who you think you are on the inside with expressing that with grace and understanding and bringing it and packaging it to others on the outside and having this balance in your life. And it's not easy. It's not easy. But I feel like that's kind of what you're meant to do. I mean, you could stay in this energy of victimization and self-loathing, or you can try to empower yourself. I feel like somebody here is meant to spread their wings and to show people who you are. You know, this is after you've healed, after you've accepted yourself, after this journey of maybe trying on new skins, quote unquote, and finding where you are and all of that. Okay, we're just gonna pull. Actually, we're just gonna read this number 12, Tiger Lily Nymph. And let's see, my booklet is over here. Number 12. Cultivate confidence. Wield your queenliness. Expect the best and keep your standards high. In the Victorian language of flowers, the tiger lily represents the most positive aspects of pride. Tiger lily is also associated with wealth, prosperity, and royal authority. The divine nymph in this image knows her worth. She wakes up every morning and revels in her regal presence and power. She is so divinely magnetic that she naturally attracts an endless stream of gifts, honors, compliments, windfalls, and lucky breaks. The gleaming brass fence and glowing wall of flowers in front of her symbolize her fabulous boundaries. She does not allow anyone to mistreat or devalue her. Her masterful eye makeup illustrates the time she takes and attention she pays to lovingly burnish her glory. Be like the tiger lily nymph. Recognize your own majesty. Prioritize excellence. Spend time making your very existence feel luxurious. Take pride in who you are. While confidence is an internal quality, there are external actions you can take to support this inner shift. Ask yourself what self care behaviors will help infuse you with an abiding sense of pride. For example, your self image can often benefit from consciously lovingly tending to your wardrobe, makeup, nails, hair care, or interior design. If you have been spending money without conscious attention to your financial wellness, you can increase your confidence by turning this behavior around. Monthly or weekly, take a good look at where your money is coming from and where is it going. If necessary, seek out more sustainable means of earning money. Make a plan for saving, investing, and responsibly paying off debts. No matter how long your past habits have been in place, you can always bring your full attention to your finances. Replace negligence with presence and take steps to nourish your long term financial goals. Shift into a more conscious, confident, and self treasuring vibration now. You will immediately feel better and you will quickly improve your luck. And over time, you will attract ever increasing levels of joy, prosperity, and success. All right. That is the general collective reading. If this resonated for you, I hope you choose to hit the like button and maybe follow me here on TikTok. I will be posting this on my YouTube channel for those that want to rewatch it. And yeah, all right, I'm going to end this live and then we're just going to do a love reading. All right, bye, y'all.